And we're live on another Monday evening
Hey, we're
with
uh,
more shop talk.
we're gaining some consistency. No, never mind. We keep losing that.
Well, we're gaining consistency, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it up next week or not. And we consistent with our shirts this week and all. At least we match this week.
Nice.
Oh
Waiting for the
man,
jokes to come in now about the matching shirts.
yeah. I have been very busy with skid plates. We talked about it last week how buried I was going to be in buggy skid plates. But it's not just buggy skid plates that I'm buried in. I've also got bulk orders for two other vendors that I'm working through also. So, what was that? Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I got 75 of the Jimmy's buggy skids. One operation done.
Dude, that's a good chunk.
So it's a good chunk of what got pre-ordered. And the only reason I only got 75 done is because that's all the material I had on hand. I'm still waiting on another 12 feet of 3/4 inch Delrin to
Just
finish the
12
rest of
feet.
them. So yeah, it's 12 feet of 3/4 inch. Yeah. Um, I guess I'll start this feed off. You mentioned consistency. I might not be able to be here next Monday because I might have to go pick up a new piece of machinery for the shop. That I may or may not have purchased another machine for the shop. I mean, obviously, I have purchased a new machine for the shop, but it is. I'm unsure of what day I have to go to get it. The auction was Wednesday night, last Wednesday evening. The auction ended at like 8 p.m. my time. Um, and the loadout was Friday for the small stuff, but they're not loading out machines until next Monday. But the rigging company that is moving these machines out of this machine shop, I spoke to him today on the phone, and it doesn't sound like he's available on Monday to do that. Um, so he said possibly tomorrow or Thursday, which is an issue for me because the machine is like 5 hours away and I'm hauling it. So if he calls me tomorrow morning and is like, "Hey, I'm going to go get it today," I'm going to be like, oh, "Shit." um, it is not a laser machine, Josh. It is actually a Swiss lathe, Tornos Swiss lathe.
I was going with
Um,
what Jason said, the beard
a
trimmer.
beard trimmer. Jason hates on my beard because he can't grow a beard like mine. Um,
I'm just gonna
I
keep with the stash until he says something.
yeah, I was so the way the auction worked, it was one of those stupid auctions where like if people are still bidding, then the time extends. Like
Nice.
the lot that I purchased was supposed to end at like 8:02. Well, if people keep bidding, the time keeps getting extended. So unfortunately, that made me miss a couple of other machines that I was going to bid on. There were three big Haas mills that I was going to bid on. And Josh, you're going to be amazed at this if you're still in here. Get ready for the pain. They're amazing, but pure torture. Yeah, I know. So there was three Haas VF3 mills that sold. One was a 1998. No, two of them were 98s, and one of them was a 2001. So they're older machines, but they're still functional, still in use, still powered, still running machines. Came with tooling, everything. The 2001 sold for $506.
Huh.
The first 98 sold for $220. And the third 98 sold for $550. Where there was a manual Bridgeport machine, an old manual Bridgeport that sold for $2,600. So people paid more for one old manual machine than you could have bought 3 large CNC mills for at this auction. Insane. I understand that they're older Haas's, but like the control panel is worth that on eBay for just the control panel, let alone the drives and any other pieces and parts, chip conveyors, augers, whatever you want to call them. Dude, whoever bought these machines got absolute steals, but I was in a bidding war on this Swiss, and I missed all 3 of those Haas machines because you bet your ass for $200 I would have been bidding on a Haas machine. What millimeter? It is a 16 millimeter, which the Swiss machines are based in categories by like how, like the material diameter, the max diameter they'll do. So this one will do 16 millimeter round material. It'll also do square and hex, but they measure them by the round tube. It's like 2 millimeter to 16 millimeter on this machine. So it's not the biggest machine you can get, but it's definitely big enough for what I want to do.
The intended purpose.
What I need. Yeah. So Logan's in here. What's going on? I saw Logan messaged the other day about leaf springs.
Josh is here.
Yeah, Josh is here. We can't talk about leaf springs yet.
I was hoping he wouldn't leave if I
Salt Pond, how's it going?
IFS.
Yeah, let's not talk about leaf springs the first 10 minutes. Let's talk about IFS.
He's like, I'm done.
Yeah, now he's really gone.
He's like, all right, that's the last straw.
Yeah. So you got some refreshed parts for that, correct? Some redesigned stuff?
Yeah, I made a couple alterations and finally got some of the nice printed pieces. So far, good success. The servo mount did suffer from what you're talking about on the other DSMs, where the nut cert pockets are a little too big. I did not double check those before ordering these because honestly, I didn't want to order the stuff quite yet, but I made it happen. It's usable. I only ordered like 5 of those mounts, so it's not too bad. But everything else, the skid, I have to double check the diameter of the threaded holes because I didn't even have to drill these out. I just ran the tap in and it's perfect. And I kind of wrenched on these 2 mil button head screws. I didn't put the 2.5 mil in there and like really wrench on it, but the threads are pretty good. So I might double check and see what diameter had that. I could run that diameter on the DSMs, take out like 3 hours of labor from drilling those and then tapping them. So I don't know. So far, man, that's a very tight fit.
Yeah. Looks good.
Not bad. Not bad for something that might hit production. I don't know. This is my own personal thing, but Riley and a couple of the other guys are kind of interested in tinkering with it. So
yeah. Have you been told this before?
What? 16 millimeters is a decent size. No.
Yeah.
Josh,
I mean, 16 millimeter. Yeah, 16 millimeter is about a middle of the road size. Typically, they just for people who don't know. Yeah, typically for people who don't know, they run up to about 30 millimeter diameter is about the biggest one you're going to find. Then you're stepping up to a bigger lathe, but
a big hog.
Yeah. So, but it's decently optioned with a couple of side drilling spindles and bar feeder and whatever. And the best part was it was fucking cheap. So if I never figure it out, It kind of is what it is. Are you going to have to do ground stock? I don't know. I'll figure that out. Figure that out when I get there. I haven't even seen the machine in person, so it was kind of a. I saw I saw it online and I was like, "Ooh, piece of candy." We'll put it this way: it's going to cost me more in fuel to drive the 4.5 hours each way than I paid for the whole machine with auction fees and everything. So
You get a tow
it's
with
going
the
to
Jeep.
no. No, I mean realistically, it's about 5,000 pounds, 4,500 pounds. But when you add the bar feeder and all the other crap, it'll be a 6,000 pound load. I don't think the JK is going to want that behind it for a couple hours.
No, probably not.
So, yeah, yeah. If I never figure it out, if I never learn how to use it, I can throw it in a scrap bin and it'll be fine. It's going to cost me more for the wire to hook it up. It probably cost me just as much as I paid for the machine in the EMT pipe and hangers to run the wire through inside the shop. So it was cheap. I mean, you can tell by the prices of those Haas CNCs that there was nobody at that auction that was paying any money for any big machines. So probably going to cost me more money to get it loaded on the trailer than I paid for it.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if I can get 3-phase wired into the apartment. I might hit up some of these auctions.
I'm going to guess probably not, but
I hit the machine and the whole apartment dims.
Yeah.
For a second.
It would.
God dang it! What's that dude doing down there?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know, man. The prices, the things that sold for big money, well, not big money, but like comparatively big money to these machines. Let me sort this by. Oh, can I not see the catalog anymore?
Dunzo.
Oh, don't do that to me. Damn. Oh, no, I can. Sort by bid, high to low. The most expensive thing that sold at that auction was a Bridgeport mill, and it was $2,500.
That's
the forklift. The forklift sold for $1,100.
Oh, forklift? You didn't buy that? That'd help you load it up on the trailer.
Yeah, I should have bought the damn forklift. It's probably what it's going to cost me to get the thing loaded. I mean, like, an anvil sold for more money than CNC machines did.
There's a budding blacksmith in the area.
Let's see, where was the cheaper Haas? A old rusty machinist vise, like a little bit better than a bench vise, sold for more than a Haas mill.
Let's
Pretty
go
wild.
in on one of those and then ship it to Josh, his house.
To his house. It just gets a LTL freight truck in his driveway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make sure it gets there like 5 a.m. so he really has no idea what the hell's going on.
No, it'll be. Yeah. Like, what is this?
Yeah. So I got some pieces parts this week from Colorado Adventure Club, Cody, for the buggy. And
nice.
I don't know which piece I'm going to use yet, but he sent me. I'm pretty sure I know which piece I'm going to use, but I don't know yet. He sent me 2 different front dig units, or rear burn units rather. This one is a machined aluminum piece, and Josh can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but so this one goes replaces the front gear stack. So if I installed this piece, I would have the higher overdrive in the transfer case. Correct, Josh? And then he also sent me this one, which is a 3D printed piece, which would replace the rear gear stack, which would be the lower overdrive, which is what, 6% that's built into the VFD twin. So I think I'm going to use this one because I think I want the overdrive, and I also don't think that I want an FDM 3D printed piece to be the deciding factor on finishing a course or not. However, I believe he's going to have these machined. I don't know. That's correct. Thank you. I figured that. But the machining on this aluminum one's very nice. He's told me not to make fun of his machining, but I don't see any reason to make fun of this machining.
I see shiny. I like shiny.
It's shiny. There are a couple of sharp edges on it that maybe could have been broken, but it's going to be inside the transmission, so it shouldn't matter anyway. I would start to install this, but I don't want this live stream to turn into a 4-hour live stream like Josh's did when he was installing his other style one from Vanquish. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I want one of those. My Thai Pro Customs is waiting on one of those. Colorado Adventure Club. Find them on Facebook. He did say he'll be machining the 6% dig as well. He said he also runs plastic parts in his. Yeah, I know he said he runs plastic parts in his. I don't know how he drives his stuff either, though. I've never met him. I've just talked to him online. But I know how I drive my stuff. And it may or may not work. I'm not the most patient person to wait on a servo. So, there's a good chance that I might click the button.
You'll be mid-throttle.
I might click the button and already be on the throttle. And I don't think the 3D printed part will like that very much. So, it is what it is. I suppose I could start tearing the buggy apart, but I don't know if I'm going to get it done today. Also, I did order a new set of shocks for it today from Pricey's Customs.
Just like that, the transmission and everything's in.
Nice. I also fall in the group of I don't trust 3D printing for my driving style. Yeah. Now, so if it were 3D printed like our dual servo mounts and things like that with the multi-jet fusion printed, I would probably trust that a lot more than standard FDM print. But it's still a 3D printed part that's associated with moving components
Inside of a critical...
inside of a transmission. So, yeah.
I'm cool with 3D printed stuff that's easily accessible, but I'm sure that trans is probably easy to get out. It's not the worst, but still.
It's 8:20. I am curious how long it will take me to get the transmission out.
All right, me and you will be in dead silence, and everyone can just walk.
Yeah. So I went with the Holmes Hobby Stubby Revolver and Crawlmaster Mini V3 in my high-low. Really stoked on the slow crawl. Is really smooth. The Crawlmaster V3 ESCs are pretty smooth on the bottom end.
I think that's what I have in the Jelly Bean, maybe. And it looks like a dual-cased Toyota. I can watch the font on the motor.
You can read. You can read the motor font as it goes around. So
what KV is that? I don't know. Keep watching. It'll rotate around.
Yeah, we'll find it in a second. I really need to make a video on this buggy. I want to take it out and do some running video on it. I want to do an actual bench video on it, but I've been so busy making skid plates that I feel like that is a more important thing to do currently than make a video. Although I really, really want / need to make the video. I was hoping to have a video done before Josh made the files
So,
publicly available,
oh, right.
but that didn't happen.
Well, once you get the IFS, this is all you need. This is kind of a quick breakdown of the kit. I don't know if I ever explained, I made this laydown servo mount, and because of how the upper control arms work, I utilized the upper control arm pins, and I went ahead and angled them 2.5 degrees. So estimated, you probably have like 2.5 degrees, like added caster.
Compared to factory.
That's what kind of bugged me when the truck would turn. You're on a vertical axis, so if you're going downhill, you just wiggle the front around. That's all the.
Yeah.
At least with some casts, you get like the corner to kind of bite. So, anyway, that's all integrated into the. I had too much time on my hand when I did that, so here we are.
It works well. Looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was actually doing that Lexus. That's kind of why I'm putting this back together. I want to get that Lexus back going again. That Lexus did really good for having 3.8-inch tires. Everyone in the trail, everyone following along, I think had like 419s or bigger. And
that's the one you took to Crawl Fest, right?
Yeah. And they're like, dang, it actually went up a couple things that they kind of had to hop around on. Granted, this is a boatload of weight bias. The skid or the motor is, keep in mind, this is the OD3, so it's already kind of a little bit bigger transmission, but the motor is nearly touching the upper control arm. So if you thought the high-low was forward mounted, this is like another like inch and a half.
It's really in there.
Yeah, but that's kind of like one of the little perks for IFS is you don't have links. Oh no, I don't have a. I was gonna get the frames to compare them, but it might be pretty cool. I don't know. I might do one of them like special batches. This will need some planning though, because there's quite a few components involved, and I need to find someone to do the custom rear links. We're working on them, so.
I was gonna say, well. So the small batch that got released today, there's still a couple available on the website. They are a linked front, leafed rear chassis, custom
I'm not
chassis.
getting up there and can't make me. Yeah, there's still a few. We're kind of discussing this. I don't know if I went too like niche with the like AR-45 specific links.
So maybe I should put on the website that if you run a JATO rod end on one end of the front panhard bar, that you can run an a F10 portal. Maybe I should make that a little bit more clear on the website.
Yeah. So there was between like the links that you spec'd out for this, or recommended. There's only like what 4 millimeters, 5 millimeters difference.
Yeah, there's not much difference in link length. So
which is why I opted for the AR. So you can just add a different Praxis in. You'd be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep one of these for myself.
No, they'll sell. Just be patient. It may take an extra hour or two, but they'll sell.
Better grab them before I change my mind.
Right.
Is that?
I think the last time
taking me back to the Wraith days.
No, the H10 does though. Each 10 takes me back to Wraith days.
Were you dropping the belly out to pull out to do anything?
Yeah. So the problem is the last time I put this back together, I mix matched my drive shafts. So they're slightly different lengths, and I mix matched the shorter section. I have the transmission out now. It was only 5 minutes to get the trans out. It's not that bad.
You can tell we were once flat rate mechanics.
Yeah. Would it be easy enough to 4-link that front end? It's absolutely. There's already link mounts on both sides of the chassis, so do whatever you want to do. You could add another front upper link and be done with it. And what wheelbase were those for? I don't remember.
These were, well, so you have like an inch leeway in the rear. I think the front was, I don't remember what you had spec. It was 11.8.
Well, yeah, the front basically had to stay where it was because of clearance for the panhard mount and
Yeah.
where the axle clearance was. So the front basically was always the same links in the front, and you just changed the rear links to get your wheelbase where you wanted it to be. So
These should be regular 12.3. Yeah. Actually, these will be 12.3 to 12.5. Because I extended the rear for the rear, so you have the adjustable rear leaf position. Yeah, only that reverse shackle one was the only oddity that was kind of a shorter wheelbase for like the single cab pickups. But this one's good for like your SR5 or your Cherokee. Who's making the Cherokee bodies now? Is that?
I have no idea. No idea. I got
What's
my
up,
S6. Yeah, got my SCX6 this weekend. Man, that stock servo is weak. Yeah, if you're not moving, you're not turning on a stock SCX6. I would suggest a shift brand servo. I had the Holmes version in mind, but I think if I were to buy another one, I would have bought a shift the next time. Just because the Holmes required more voltage than the factory ESC and receiver would supply, and it was kind of still a little slow and weak for what I thought it should have been. So the shift, a couple of buddies had shift brand ones in their trucks, and they were ripping compared to mine. So I think I would go that route next time.
Logan's right. It was Killer Bodies. I think that's the one I remember for the Cherokee.
Yeah, and Injora also makes them now also.
I'm still sour about the old LC80. The two bodies I have, I think, were about $230 back in the day. Now they're like $60.
Yeah, now they're like free.
Dude. It's crazy. Anyway, still salty.
Okay, so I've got the trans apart, and this would be your front output shaft. This is out to your front drive shaft. So you would remove this gear, keep the bearings, and then where'd that piece go? Here it is. This would end up sliding on to the shaft and receiving the two factory bearings. And then instead of being able to rotate the transfer case or the transmission gear next to it, it would then lock the front in place. Cool. What did I do wrong here, though?
Oh, okay.
When I took this apart, some things fell out. Oh, there we go. It just wasn't the shaft. The front output shaft wasn't pushed all the way in. There's bearings and gears falling out all over the place. There's an awful lot of gears inside these VFD twin transmissions. I don't know if you've ever had one apart or not.
No.
There's a lot going on in here, and if you get them in the wrong spots, they're not super stoked. This gear goes on the bottom, down here. I'm trying to do this without taking everything apart, but it's kind of looking like
causes more labor.
it's kind of looking like maybe I should take this all the way apart, because now I've got a random shim that I think goes on the back of this shaft.
That transmission is lighter now than it was when you took it apart, so I call that a win.
Yeah. I would not want to do this with others watching. Well,
here we are.
You can learn from my mistakes, I suppose.
I was almost gonna put this kit all together live, and I was like, well, I don't know. This is the first test of the nice printed parts, and I was like, I don't know, but I could have done it live because nothing. It all went off without a hitch, and I had it all apart real quick. So I was like, oh, I wouldn't have been nervous to do that.
It would have been fine. Everything is fine. See, there's another little shim down in here that just appeared.
Disappeared? Oh, appeared.
Appeared. It just appeared.
On the
I don't know. It's probably not necessary. What transmission goes in the gold chassis? Any transmission that you want to use can be fitted.
Yeah, so we have the mini skid going with those, which is the axial 4-volt. But it is pretty blank. If you don't mind drilling a hole, you can do whatever you need. And also, if you're running, is it the deluxe trans? They come with that adapter plate anyway, correct?
Do the deluxe trans come with the adapter?
I'm trying to think. Most of them do. I know TGH. Anyway, you got options.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you can use any. You don't have to use the included skid either. It's a standard axial hole spacing on the chassis side. So, I mean, you can just. Where the fuck that gear go? Oh, there it is. Where'd the bearings go for it, though? Maybe I shouldn't have done this live.
Well, Bear's bringing me a crocodile.
Oh, that's cool. I feel like this gear has bearing pockets in it, but there are no bearings available.
We got 25 minutes. This is well entertaining.
Oh, I got it. No big deal. I figured it out. You put a bearing where it wasn't supposed to be. Now, does that mesh up with that? Kinda. I don't feel like that's correct either. No, that's not correct either. Are these on the wrong way? See, they all kind of fell out at the same time. And now we have to problem solve.
We as
Okay.
in
The royal we.
you, yourself, and them.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's not the right bearing for that. Because it doesn't fit over that shaft.
If you get a hammer out, I'm gonna be concerned.
Yeah. No, that can't be the bearing for that because it doesn't fit over the shaft. So where did I put the wrong bearing at? One of these things is not like the others. I feel
It's
like I'm
the
missing a little. I feel like I'm missing a little bearing too.
it's the decent sized 16 millimeter bearing.
Now, like I took it apart right here, and I don't think I saw anything jump off the table, and I don't think there's anything left in places where there shouldn't be, unless I put the wrong bearing in here. But I'm pretty sure I didn't. We might have to revisit this when I'm not live.
Come back for part 2 next week.
Yeah, yeah. See, I thought this was going well, but it turns out it's not.
It was going great until it wasn't.
It was. Where the hell did that bearing go? Like, okay, maybe I'll just
Inside
take
the
this the
case.
rest. I'll just take this the rest of the way apart so I know that it's not still inside here. I was trying to do it without taking this rear dig dog out of the trans and the rear bearing plate out of the trans and the dig shifter arm out. I was trying to do it without removing all that stuff, but apparently that was a poor choice. I've had this thing apart like 10 times also. Because I was missing a bearing. Actually, I had an extra bearing. I know I had an extra bearing in it once. I put it together, it was making all kinds of noise, and I'm like, "What the hell's going on?"
Each
I
time
had
you
an
take it
extra
apart,
bearing
you're
in it.
like, oh, look, extra bolt. Oh, well.
Now, in my defense, this transmission did spend a lot of time apart on the bench. Like, probably the better part of a year sitting on my bench.
The transmission is also waiting for wheels.
Yeah. I'm going to delete every wheel file out of my computer. Okay, so the problem is the rear output shaft. That bearing does not fit over the shaft, and neither does that one. And there has to be a bearing in this gear. So where did the bearing go for this gear that fits over that shaft? Or did I really just put the gear on the wrong way? I feel like that can't be right because I don't think this front gear came. I don't think the front gear fell off. Jake, no, you cannot get wheels ever now. I'm deleting every wheel file. This gear has to have bearings. It can't just float. Jake Ferkel's in timeout. I don't know how I put him in. I just put him in timeout. Now it says he was banned and his comments were removed. How do I unban him? Sorry, Jake. I meant to put you in timeout. I didn't mean to ban you. Anyway, I have something wrong. I have missed something somewhere. See, I was thinking this wasn't going to turn into a 4-hour deal, and it might now. Do you know how to unban people? I don't know how to unban people.
I was just looking.
Settings? No, maybe not. Sorry, Jake. She gone. And I can't even like click on his name or anything. Let's see.
Way to go, dude. That was half of our viewers. You just
He might be back next week. Where'd Josh go? I don't know where Josh went.
yeah, banned too.
I didn't ban him yet.
I think I'm banned from him for the L word.
The L word.
Starts with a L, ends with a F. Leafs.
Oh. I'm an idiot, dude. This fucking gear doesn't even go in the transmission anymore. It's the gear I removed. It's literally the gear I removed to put the freaking dig piece in. Idiot. Why didn't you guys tell me that? I'm gonna have an extra gear.
Bunch of demons just watching it all take place.
Dude, come on. Ah, idiot. Anybody watching this should feel bad for me because I'm an idiot.
Jake, I don't think feels bad right now.
No, he probably doesn't. He's probably laughing. He probably knew it. He probably knew it and just didn't tell me.
Yeah, Toby didn't want to get banned for correcting you.
Dang it. Did Jake get on his old lady's?
He was like, "Babe, give me your phone."
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how to unban you. I'm sorry. I clicked the put you in timeout and then it popped up and says you were banned and your comments were removed. So, my bad, dog. I don't know how to get you back in there. That doesn't go there. This does.
Man, this Tristan girl's really obsessive about wheels.
Yeah. Never met her. I don't know.
We really don't know her that well.
Gosh dang it. I'm such an idiot. I can't believe that I was trying to put that gear back in that I literally just removed. to install the damn dig part. No wonder I couldn't figure out where the freaking bearings went, because I used them on the dig part. Ugh. Anyway, I'm still only 25 minutes into this, and Josh was like a solid 4-hour job.
Hey, he's back.
Hey, there he's back. He was only in a timeout. It's like, I'm back. It was, what, a 5-minute timeout?
Dang. That's about what I got when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Jake, you're our child. 5-minute time. Go stand in the corner.
Man. Can't believe that. You guys were just going to let me dick with this all night, too.
Here,
Didn't even care.
Here's the IFS comparison of Skid.
Oh, yeah. That puts some perspective into it.
It's just like, hey, don't you want to build this monstrosity? It looks cool from the bottom.
There's a whole lot going on in there as far as packaging goes.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I had too much time to dilly-dally with that. I think my bike must have been broken, or my leg hurt, or something. Something was going on to where I had this much time on my hands. Originally, I was just gonna buy the what's the ugly Land Cruiser? I was just gonna buy that and throw the Lexus body on there. Or no, sorry, it's the FJ, the Ultron, I think.
Utron.
Utron. What's I keep saying Ultron. I think that's
it's
a Transformer. What is that?
Basically the same thing.
The
settings, community, click the X next to his name.
That sounds like banning.
That might be the way to unban him. Let's see. Settings.
He's already back.
There is no community on StreamYard.
Oh, gotcha.
Edit? No, that edits the stream. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Anyway, he's back now, so it doesn't really matter, but
did you just say
now
it doesn't really matter?
It doesn't really matter. Now that I know it was really only a timeout, it doesn't matter. I felt bad for like a second or two.
The look of guilt on your face didn't come across to me as guilt. It's hard to say you're guilty when you're giggling about it the whole time. Oh, shoot.
Well, push buttons and you get buttons pushed. It really matters. I'm going to stab you next time I see you, Jake. Okay, so now I have 4-wheel drive.
Okay, well, I'm for an hour. See you guys later.
I have front-wheel drive. And I have rear-wheel drive. It works. It functions. Sweet. Now I have to hook up the linkage for the other dig servo because I only had one of them hooked up because I wasn't using the overdrive shifter. I was only using the dig shifter. Now I have to hook up the other one too. Which also means that now I have to clean up some of my wiring because I just stuffed it all underneath the driver's seat on this thing. where Josh had all of his wiring on the passenger side, and I ran all of mine in the driver's side.
Did you download the file where it has the nice little wire routing?
I did, but I cracked it like immediately when I was trying to put it in. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And I'm just going to leave everything in the driver's side because I'm not using that shifter. But now I'm going to have to do something about it because I can't have servo linkage munching wires. I'd prefer not to burn this thing to the ground if I don't have to. Josh, I approve. Yeah, cool. Where were you 10 minutes ago when I was being an idiot?
You missed the best part.
Yeah, could have really used some help about 10 minutes ago. Not that anybody could have helped. Rex Racer made a great shroud for the passenger side too. Yeah, I've got it. I've got it right here. So I'm going to install that. I printed that this morning. I'm going to install that also. So we'll see how that goes.
It's gonna be fine.
It'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
4 hours later.
Yeah. I'm more concerned about not burning up a dig servo than anything at this point because this is the first time I've ever really used four-wheel steer or dig on a consistent basis. I built a C3 a couple years ago that had four-wheel steer, but I've never messed with four-wheel steer and dig. See, I put this transmission back together, and now I have two shims that I don't know where they came from.
They went on that gear you took out.
It still spins smooth, so it'll probably be okay.
It'll be fine.
It's fine. It'll be fine. Everything is fine. There's that drive shaft screw I was looking for. Now, if I can get the transmission back in here without dropping the spur gear and all associated bearings and spacers.
If there's anything I've learned about live, you're probably gonna drop that now.
Nope, I got it in there. Dang it. Let's see. I need these two screws for the side of the transmission. I'm trying to do this in under 4 hours. The shims are barely important. Good, because they're not going back in there. I didn't figure they were critical. If they were critical, they wouldn't have fallen out. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
They're one-time use.
Yeah. As long as it's quieter than Matt, you're good. I don't know how loud Matt's was because I haven't seen it in person, but mine is relatively quiet. I mean, it's really quiet at low speed, but like when you start to wake it up a little bit, it gets a little noisy.
It's not really that loud.
Yeah. I will say my gear mesh is probably loose. I can probably adjust that real quick. Maybe adjust that real quick. Started my third chassis yesterday with a cheap TIG. I need to start on my second one still. Oh, I went the wrong way.
Which yes welder did you get, Steve? Was it is it 236? Is that the one? I just watched that today. Obviously I retained no information. I just sit there and watch with my mouth again.
So, Josh, are you liking it still? Are you liking? And I assume that means I assume he's asking if you're liking the welder still, or if you've had any issues with it.
Oh man, Barry got me a White Claw.
Oh, drop a screw. Bear brought you a White Claw.
He teased me. It's a White Paw.
Uh,
Way to go, dude. Teased you for nothing.
with all of his tricks, I'm surprised he doesn't bring you White Claws.
I think I'd have to cover the cans in peanut butter or something.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
I'm gonna switch this screw out for a little bit longer one. That's the exact same size. That one's longer. Good. Really liking the new machine. Made a cheap swap on the torch, and it's basically just like my more expensive machine. China, man, they're getting better and better every day, I guess.
Dude, you can't go wrong for $200.
No, for $200. I've had a Harbor Freight plasma cutter for like 10 years now, and it's never failed. But I jumped on Amazon the other day, and because I was looking, I needed to buy consumables for my Harbor Freight plasma, and it was cheaper to buy a new Amazon plasma cutter than it was to buy consumables for my 10-year-old plasma cutter. I should not have adjusted my gear mesh before I tightened the transmission down. It was not as loose as I thought it was. Yeah, I mean, my more expensive welder is about an $800 Eastwood Chinese machine also. So, I mean, I wasn't being derogatory at all. I was just saying they get better and better every time. Okay. Now, it's just drive shafts. This is the rear one. This is the front one.
Just mix those up.
Well, I mixed them up last time, so I had to get them right this time. I just spun the truck around, so I forgot which way was which. Anyway, we've got about 2 minutes left. Anything you need to get off your chest?
I was gonna post up. We have a couple 6x6s left. I didn't really post up that we had them in stock, but then a couple of them got bought up, so figured it's worth mentioning if you've been waiting on them but haven't been checking the site. I guess I've kind of been sneakily updating inventory because I haven't been posting that we have restocked anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was working on a batch of DSMs, the current production ones. I got like 25 of those, so figured that was a good thing to be working on. That Hilo kit. I think we'll do those parts as a kit since they're so cheap. Personally, you guys can comment, but the side braces and the battery tray. I was just gonna combo those all as like one $30 item instead of two $15 items. Personally, putting together a package and shipping like a $10 item and then driving 20 minutes to the UPS kind of sucks.
Well, your $10 item and $10 shipping is kind of a pain in the ass.
I feel like you get more for your money. Also, that one dude in the UK is going to be stoked. I was gonna message him, but I think I'll just I'll leave it a surprise unless he watches this.
Yeah. How are the Jimmy skids coming along? I have about 75 of them. The bottom sides are done. I'll be moving on to the top sides of those tomorrow. I've got a batch of skids for another vendor of Trailfinder 2 skids that I'm finishing up. They should be done tomorrow morning. And then I'm back on Jimmy's skids until the first 75 are done. By that time, I should have the rest of the material in for the rest of the pre-orders on them. So I can go ahead and get all of that stuff going at that point. But they're going good. Turning out great. Josh's skid, there's a couple of changes compared to the one Josh has. Just a couple of extra different tool paths to smooth it out just a little bit more. Make it look a little bit more finished. But otherwise, like I said, they're going great. I'm hoping to have at least some of them out before the end of the week, just to curb my anxiety a little bit. And wheels will be approximately 74 months from now. I'll get some of those done.
That's his new strategy. Get put in timeout as we go off. It's my fault, bro.
Yeah.
I put it on there. I told people to heckle you.
Did you see that I had to correct your post?
Yeah, it corrected on the Instagram, but not the Facebook. So I went on Facebook and corrected it. But yeah, I was
corrected the correction.
So if you guys don't know, there's an hour difference between Brett and I. So I sign in at 7, but Brett's time is 8. So everything is normally.
But you put Eastern on the post, so you should have.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So one little minor funny thing, just for Jake, just because he's bugged me a couple of times tonight about wheels, I actually do have to make some wheel components for another vendor. So I'll be making wheel parts in the next couple of days, but not for ours.
It's not really important.
Yeah, it's not really important. Just spent the last 45 minutes staring at the new RC Speedy chassis for the Optic, debating on pulling the trigger. Man, it looks good. Nice. We won't have to get out the Dremel. So Josh's skid would have fit perfectly without a Dremel. He just decided he wanted some extra room that he didn't need, because my front links are 2 millimeters longer than he suggested, and my links, while they do touch the skid, it does not bind at all. I have full articulation, full clearance, and my links are longer, which means they would be further out, which means I should have less clearance than he would. So he was just doing that to give me a. He was giving me a heart attack, grinding on a new skid on a live stream. So, okay, transmission is back in. It took, 40 minutes? Longer would make them narrower? Would it? Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Well, whatever. Grindage. Regardless, you should not have to grind the skid plate. And if you do have to grind the skid plate, then I've got about 75 of them that are all fucked. So I went off of Josh's design. So if they're wrong, he owes me a lot of money. Just kidding. All right. Anything else for tonight before we get out of here? I will get the interior put back in this thing tomorrow. I need to solder on an extra JST for my voltage gauge because I put in a direct power steering servo and I stole the JST for that. They'll be fine.
Nice.
Blame the welder. Yeah, blame the welder.
Yeah, nothing
So-
from my end. I don't know. Keep your eye out. I think we'll be posting up some more stuff. I don't know.
Yep.
We're just.
I will
messing
let you.
around.
Yeah, I will let you know as far as if next Monday is going to work or not. Like I said, it depends on when the riggers can get the machine out of the building, because if it's going to be tomorrow or Thursday, then I'll be in Illinois picking up a machine. If it's going to be Monday, well, the rigger said he's not available Monday, but if I have to find somebody else, because that's the day the auctioneer said they got to go. So
Yeah,
may or may not be here next Monday. So we'll see.
we'll post up.
Yeah, definitely post up. So thanks everybody for checking in on us. Thanks everybody for heckling and talking and watching me bumfuzzle my way through installing a front dig in my transmission.
Shoot us a couple of likes. There's only one happy soul in the.
We got one like this week?
Maybe.
Nice.
That's 100% increase from last week.
Doing great. Doing great.
Shoot. Thanks,
So-
everybody.
All righty. Later.
Till next time.